I just made $3,280 in about 6 hours of taking Zoom calls on my computer. And this is not revenue, by the way. This is profit. So like actual personal take-home income that I'll be getting paid into my bank account. And this is still crazy to me that I'm able to do this. But in this video, I just want to like break down how I did it, how you can copy and do the same thing, because I see a lot of gurus in the like online remote high ticket sales space that just give this like BS advice and they sell you on a dream of like how you can start making 10K in the next 2 weeks or whatever. That is BS. It's not true. I can tell you that from my first time experience, because I went from 0 to 10K a month and now scale that to multiple six figures per year in this industry. So I just want to break down how to actually do it, like set some realistic expectations of how I've been able to land my first sales role in this industry, how the industry even works to begin with, how I make this type of money, how I close these deals. So you can have like a realistic path to actually follow to get into the space and not have these crazy unrealistic expectations that most people talk about. So let's get into this straight away, just to show you some proof here that like I'm actually doing this stuff, because I know pretty much everyone will tell you that they're making these numbers. Here you can see some screenshots. I'm not going to show you this in Stripe because of the names and like credit card numbers and things like that. But you can see screenshots of me taking payments. There's an $8,800 deal here, 3K. Here's me closing a 6K deal or 4.4K and a 3K deal. As you can see that I've actually done this myself over and over again. And basically, the blueprint and the way that I've been able to do this for myself, it comes down to a couple of different things. I want to break this down for you. First off, the industry. What is the industry that I've been working in? It's called the e-learning industry. How can you actually leverage this industry to make this type of money? And like, what's the best way to get started? How do you level up? All that stuff. How I personally landed this specific job where I'm making this type of commissions. How I close these high ticket deals. How to actually close the deal. Like what do you say on your calls? What's the actual skill set that you need to learn to make this type of money? And then just give you some actionable steps on how you can actually copy me in the next 3 to 6 months. I'm not gonna promise you that you'll be making 10K a month in the next 3 to 6 months. That's very hard to do. If you work hard, if you're committed, you can make it happen. But realistically, I'll give you a plan of how you can start making minimum 5K a month in the next 6 months if you're willing to work hard and actually commit to this. So let's get into this straight away. First off, the e-learning industry. What is that? Like, what does that even mean, and how does that even work, and how can you make money with this industry? So you probably know about, like, if you're watching this video, you probably know about Iman Gadzhi, Alex Hormozi, Tony Robbins, all these like influencers, people that sell information online. They have like courses, coaching programs, and things like that. That industry is growing extremely quickly right now. I don't know the exact number, but there's a number that Forbes, I think it's around $300 billion that Forbes is projecting the whole like e-learning course selling industry to grow to in the next couple of years. So it's growing extremely quickly right now. A lot of people are going to these online course owners and business owners to learn skills instead of going to college. It can be coaches teaching people how to make money online. That's a big niche, like drop shipping, teaching people trading, teaching people high income skills. Can be helping people lose weight, like fitness coaches, diet coaches, dating coaches, all kinds of different coaches and like course sellers and consultants, even like marketing agencies. This whole like e-learning and like online education space growing extremely quickly. And that's exactly what I've been able to tap into to make this type of money and basically be part of um, a boat that's growing and something that's increasing in terms of demand and people actually wanting to get into it. So that's the industry that I've been in. And basically, like how you take advantage of this industry is like, obviously, you probably see these guys online that are making a shit ton of money, like flying private jets, driving Lambos, all that shit, like in the e-learning industry. The thing is, like having an e-learning business and being in having a coaching or like a course business is by far the most profitable and the best business model to start in 2025. The issue though is that for most people, including myself, when I started off in the online space, is that most people, probably you watching this right now, you don't actually have any skills to teach other people in an online education business. You haven't really like mastered something enough yet to be able to start a business teaching it to other people, which is fine. Then the way you can you can still take advantage of these people that are making a lot of money and like get your piece of the pie without having to have a skill to teach other people. And the way you do that is by learning high income skills like sales, which is the most fundamental skill that's valuable to all online businesses. You master that skill, you learn how to solve the problem of converting people from interested customers to paying clients for these online coaches. Does that make sense? You learn the skill of how to help these coaches basically convert and like solve a big valuable problem in their business. And then you go into these companies and just convert people that they have reaching out to them that are interested into and paying clients. You basically just close the deals for this business owner. That's it. Super simple, you know? So by doing that, you learn a skill, you become valuable, and you develop something that's gonna be like with you for the rest of your life. When you learn how to sell, you're never gonna go broke ever again. And then you just apply that skill set in the industry of working with e-learning businesses where you can make the most money, you can have the most freedom because you're working online, you're working remotely over Zoom, and you close high ticket deals. You close deals for like 5K, 10K, even like 24K. I've been closing for an offer that was $24,000, which means whenever I close a deal, I get paid 10% of that, which is $2,400 in personal take home income. So if you're wondering like how I hit the number of $3,280, that was me closing a 24K deal and an $8,800 deal within 24 hours. If you do the math, 24K plus 8.8K, that comes out to 32.8K. And then you do 10% of that, that's this number right there. So that's how I did it. And that's the great thing about this industry, because you close high ticket deals, you get compensated a lot for every single hour that you put in. You can literally be on a 30-minute Zoom call, close a deal, and get paid like 2K for that hour of your time, just because you're in a very leveraged vehicle. You're doing something that really like gives you a lot of value, gives you a lot of pay for the time that you're putting in. So that's the industry that I've been in. That's by far the best industry to get into and apply the skill set of sales within. So now I want to walk you through how I actually landed the job, how I actually got into my first position, and how I've been able to land this job where I'm now selling a 24K offer and making commissions off of that. And the first thing I had to do was actually learn the industry, understand like the high ticket online space, understand these businesses, understand how their sales process works. That was a big thing. So let me actually write this out for you. I learned the sales process of online high ticket businesses. That's really important. You need to understand the sales process and learn and practice sales. So basically what I did, I just hired a mentor, someone who could show me, someone who's already like been in this space for a long time. I just asked him like, can you just teach me like what to do, what to say on my calls, how to show up in the right way, things like that. And then I just practiced that. So I found other people to practice with so I could really develop the skill set as quickly as possible. And then I just had that guy give me feedback on my calls. So that's really like the best way to learn, in my opinion. It's very, very fast to learn. You can just find a mentor, someone can show you what to do. You practice like every single day, get feedback from your mentor, and then you're gonna grow very, very quickly. And then I just used that when I then started reaching out to businesses. I went into Facebook groups, I went on Instagram, I went on YouTube, starting to reach out to like these different online businesses to work for. It was way easier because I already had this kind of track record, so to speak, because I've already like been doing role plays, been practicing, been doing like the sales calls over and over again as practicing calls. So when I jumped on my first interview, I was very confident in like showing up. And when I jumped on my first sales call in a business, I was also fairly confident. And then the key here, the thing that I did that I see a lot of people do wrong, is I started off in a entry level role. The biggest reason why most people like kind of fuck up in remote sales in general, why they get into the space and they don't succeed, is because they try to get into like the highest level, like 10, 20K a month closing role right away without any experience. And the issue with that is that the companies that will be hiring you that as a complete beginner are not going to be the best companies. It makes like you're never going to get into like Iman Gadz's team or like Tony Robbins' team as a closer right away, because closing is a more high level role in the business. You should start off as an appointment setter and then you become a closer and you can grow from there. So those companies, like they're used to speaking with salespeople. They know who's good and who's bad. They're never going to hire someone who's kind of like mid, someone who's a beginner without a track record into a closing role. Which means if you want to get into the best companies where you can have stability, where you can have a lot of upward potential and eventually be able to close high ticket deals consistently, make 20K, 30K a month in commissions eventually, you need to start off in an entry level role with a good business. So that was my strategy. I was just looking for the best possible businesses. I would go on Instagram, I would go on YouTube, I would find people that had a big personal brand. And let me just write this out. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let's start an entry level opportunity. basically what that meant and what I did is I went on Instagram, I went on YouTube, and I was just looking for these businesses that had a big personal brand, they had a lot of following, they had a lot of like proof, a lot of client results and things like that. And I would reach out to these people and just ask them if they're looking for appointment setters. So that's the most like entry level role in this industry. We basically just call people over the phone or in the DMs, have a short conversation, and then book people for the closer. It's a very entry level role. You don't really need any like track record, any experience to get into it. That's where I started off. I just sent out those DMs to a bunch of people in big business. And I eventually got into touch with a company that was hiring. I started off as an appointment setter, grinded my ass off for about 3 to 6 months. Just worked really, really hard in the business. So in the beginning, for about 2 months, I was just an appointment setter, working really hard. And then because I was working hard, I was able to get into a closer role. And I just kept on grinding my ass off in a role. In the beginning, I sucked. So I just like grinded my ass off, got a lot of feedback from the management in the business, and just like asked questions and really just to work my ass off. I locked in. I didn't see any women. I didn't really see friends. I didn't really go out at all during the first 6 months of being in that business. So like I said, 2 months being an appointment setter, just hustling my ass off. I made like 4K my first month, 6K my second month as an appointment setter. Then I became a closer, hit my first 10K in around 3 to 4 months. And I just locked in on that role and scaled my income by just like going all in on it, getting a lot of feedback, investing into mentorship. And that's really the path of getting into this industry and seeing success. It can go very, very quickly if you're just willing to play the long game of starting off in an entry level role, working your way up, and getting a shit ton of feedback throughout that journey. That's the biggest advice I'm gonna give you. Is like if you just get into entry level role and just focus all of your attention on number one, locking in, working hard, just putting your blinders on and not changing to copywriting or not changing to trading or not changing into other business model, just locking in on sales, making that commitment to yourself, and also having a mentor who's going to be holding your hand and giving you feedback. If you can do that, you will see success. You will see that first 10K a month in profit very, very quickly. So let me actually write this out there. So locked the fuck in and committed to the opportunity, plus had tight feedback loop. That's what I did. And quick note, guys, I was wearing a shirt. I'm always wearing a shirt during my calls. It's just like super warm right now in my apartment here in Brazil, so that's why I'm not wearing a shirt. But on a high ticket closing call, I'm always going to be wearing a shirt. I'm not going to close 24K deals shirtless. But anyways, so how do I actually close high ticket deals? Number one, I always wear a shirt on my calls. Number two, I basically just learned in the role essentially. Because the thing I've realized a lot of people try to like read their way to becoming good sales reps. Try to like read books and like watch videos and watch, I don't know, like Jordan Belfort, or find like even good mentors online. Is listen to their content all the time. The thing I realized is like the best way to get extremely good at sales, high ticket sales, is just do it out in the field. Just get yourself in an entry level role, get the reps in. Reps plus the right type of feedback and handholding from a mentor, by far the fastest way to grow. The ideal setup and the way that I structured things is I would be taking sales calls over like all day long. In the beginning, when I was an appointment setter, and then eventually when I became a closer, just take calls all day long. In the afternoon, I would send those calls to a mentor, or I would show up to a coaching call, like a group coaching call with the mentor, send that call to them, get feedback, and then I would just like write down all the feedback. I would listen to the call myself, self-analyze, implement that feedback. Next day I would show up and I would be better. And if you just do that every single day, like you get 1%, 2% better on a daily basis, it goes very, very quickly for you to go from being a shit sales rep to being extremely, extremely good and being able to close a lot of people. That's literally the framework. Just do it in action. Don't be the guy that's just like sitting there and reading books, because everyone's going to tell you like, okay, this objection handling framework is the best and blah, 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 blah. But the truth is that everyone sells different. My way of selling is very different from probably how you're going to be selling in this industry. So that's why you need to like, obviously you need to be learning and like have some type of like framework to go off of. But the main thing is you need to like really just take calls and develop your own way of running things, you know? And the framework I give you here is like when it comes to high ticket sales, like the biggest thing, if you can do like one thing on all of your calls, is just getting extremely good. The thing that's helping the most to like close at this point, I'm seeing around like 40 to 50% closing rate on these like high ticket offers. It's just about getting extremely good at understanding people's problem. and also getting good at like connecting with people, telling personal stories, and making them feel like you relate to them, and creating authority on the call where they really trust you as well. That's the biggest thing. Like number one, being able to understand people's problem, and then also creating trust with people, and they're very connected as well. Because if you feel like this, if you go to the doctor, and you have like some type of pain in your leg, you don't know what it is, but you have pain in your leg, you go to the doctor, he asks you like 5 to 10 different questions, and then boom, he describes exactly what you're experiencing. He's like, okay, is the pain going from this side of your leg to this side of your leg? Is it when you're walking, does it hurt to this degree? When you're running, do you feel this exact emotion? And you're like, yeah, exactly what he's telling me is exactly what I'm feeling. He's describing the problem better to yourself than how you could even like word it with your own words. Well, if that happens, like how much do you think you will trust that doctor? You will trust them a shit ton, because it's giving you exactly what you didn't even describe yourself. That creates immense amounts of trust, and that's exactly the key to becoming extremely good at sales. And what's allowed me to close a lot of high ticket deals is getting extremely good at just diagnosing people's problems, understanding people better than they understand themselves, and then giving them a diagnosis, like hearing someone out on the call, asking them a couple of questions, and then just giving them the perfect solution, pitching them in a way where you just give them the exact solution that sounds unique to them, that sounds customized to them. You're going to close so many people if you can just do that. So that's just like some game in terms of like how to actually close high ticket deals. Is just getting extremely good at understanding people's problem, and then getting very, very good at positioning the solution, aka your offer, like what you're pitching them, the product, as the perfect customized solution to their problem. But that all builds upon you understanding the problem in the first place. So that's some game for you guys in terms of how I close high ticket deals. And this applies for all different niches, offers. I've closed like low ticket, like 2K, 3K offers, teaching like health coaching and teaching like diet and things like that. And I've also closed, like I showed you guys before, 24K offers where we help businesses, like online businesses, online coaches, grow from like 100K per month to 1 million per month. So I closed different types of packages and with different types of clients. And whatever you sell, the most universal principle, it always comes down to if you can get clear and truly understand the prospect, like the person you're speaking with, the client, their problem, you will make a lot of money, you will close a lot of deals. So now the exciting part, how can you copy me in the next 3 to 6 months? And the number one thing here is like a lot of people I speak with, people I work with as well, they come to me and like, Alex, I want to make 10K a month with remote sales. What do I do? I just want to like start making money ASAP. And the thing is, like in this space, you can start making like 3 to 5K a month very, very quickly if you just like do what I told you to do here. Number one, you start learning sales. Ideally, you find a mentor, someone can give you feedback, and just like learn, get confident in the skill. Number two, start reaching out to big businesses. If you just do that, you can learn it all very quickly. But the biggest thing that I see when it comes to going from like 0 to making like 5 to 10K a month is you need to level up as a person. If you want to become really good at sales, you need to just like step up your habits, step up your standards, start holding yourself accountable to, or start holding yourself to higher standards. Start waking up at the same time every single day. Start, if you're not working out already, working out, like those kind of like boring things and those like success habits that most like Iman Gadzhi's videos and like all these gurus online will be talking about. That's actually the stuff that got me extremely good. So again, like you can go out and like land your first sales role and start making like a couple of $1,000 per month just doing that. But if you're really serious and you want to really like maximize your potential in this industry, you need to just like lock in. Decide that for the next 6 to 12 months, you're going all in on mastering the skill of sales. Find a mentor, someone who can handle you. If you want help from me one-on-one to learn the skill set, get calls reviewed from me, get hand holding one-on-one, get my help to land good businesses to work for, I've helped over 50 guys do this at this point. We help a lot of guys go from 0 to landing good roles and scaling to 5 to 10K. So if you want help from me, click the link down below. You can apply for my one-on-one coaching. If you're really like serious about this, you're ready to actually work hard and ready to commit, we can chat, see if you're a good fit for it, if you book a call down below. But regardless, the process here is you need to decide for yourself that you're going to lock in for the next 6 to 12 months, eliminate distractions, stop looking at all these different business models, stop jumping from thing to thing, commit to learning the most fundamental skill in business, which is sales, and understand that if you just go all in on mastering the skill set, you're going to be set for life. Like, do you know anyone out there that's gotten really good at sales that's struggling to make money? Like, I don't know anyone. I've never heard of anyone that's learn sales, and then now they're like broke on the street. Because when you learn how to sell, there's always going to be some business that needs you, especially if you learn it in this industry, because you get the connections, you get the capital, you will be connected with high level online business owners. So there's really no downside when you've done that. So learn the skill set, and then you just find a successful business to work with, and just go all in on getting good at with a business, and understand that you will suck in the beginning. You will never get to mastery level without being willing to suck in the beginning. Biggest advice I want to leave you off with is that don't be scared of sucking. When I started my first sales role, I was super scared of like, okay, I took this call, it didn't close, shit, I'm gonna get fired, I'm not good enough, blah blah blah, I should quit, I should become a marketer instead. Like I had all these shiny object thoughts. But the biggest thing that helped me was just like realizing, like accepting, like I am bad right now, but if I keep doing this for the next 6-12 months, 2 years, and I keep getting better, it's very unlikely for me to suck at that point, and I will probably start making money and start seeing success. And just accepting that helped me a lot to eventually get to where I am today, where I'm closing all these big high ticket deals, making 3K in a day with high ticket sales. So hopefully you guys found this valuable. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram down below. I reply to all DMs over there. If you want help from me one-on-one to crush it in remote sales, be part of a community with guys who are killing it and make a lot of money in this industry, click the link down below. We can chat, see if we're a good fit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Ciao.